Okay, so this is our cover. Isn't it groovy? This is our journal cover. I think it came out fabulously. I'm still going to embellish it and stuff, but I'm going to make sure I put my pages in first because I just like doing it that way. Also, on a side note, I meant to mention this in another video and forgot, but do you guys save these? This is from like cookies. It's the tray that comes out of a cookie package, like Chips Ahoy. I save these because they're pretty sturdy considering. I mean, they're really sturdy. And they're good for like, I don't know, you can put your ATCs in them. You can divide up your little papers that you're using or whatever. Store washi in them. You know, they're just good for crap. And they've got 3 sections to put shit in. So hold on to those. Just dig them out of your package and then just clean them out and they're good to go. Okay, so here are some of the papers I have, and then on top of these are all coffee dyed, and then this is the parchment that I actually made, you know, put the coffee dyed papers on to put it in the oven. And then I've got like this Maggiano's napkin, which is coffee dyed, which I'm going to use. Why not? We could throw that in there. It smells really good. Ah, it smells like coffee. And then we've got some music paper. Got a few sheets of music paper. Some pink paper that's coffee dyed. Some ledger paper that's coffee dyed. Cardstock. Just white cardstock. Coffee dyed. 2 pieces of that. Graph paper. More ledger paper. And this paper that was like a faded flag. It was used to, like, you know, you can write your resume on it or a letter or something. And I coffee dyed it and it came out pretty badass. So on top of that, then I've also got an envelope. I've got some junk mail. Those, remember I told you about those cigarette companies sending me envelopes and little things. And I can use these in a journal because it's got extra pages on it. So there's that. Calendar, old calendar pages. We can rip some of the calendar pages out, fold them up. Stick them in there. Priority mail envelopes. These are paint folders that, you know, they show you what you can do with different paint colors. This doesn't have the actual swatches in it, but it's Valspar. So it shows you. It's real shiny. And then this newspaper, I just thought the paper was really nice because it's not your typical newspaper. It's actually pretty thick paper. I thought I could put some of that in there. And then I got these cards, and it has like a fairy on it, and it has like, you know, the tree is like, has a face. So I figured, and it's got this on the front of it. I think it was for, I don't know what it was, but some sort of event, but I could put that in there. And I've got more calendar pages with different birds and bugs and animals and things. So look at that kitten. Isn't it cute? It's a little chick. So cute. So I figure we will set up some signatures. I want to have 2 signatures, each with 10 pages. Because if I do use this for a swap, that's the requirements. So let's get putting them together, shall we? I think what I'll do is I'll put this one like so. This one like so, and I will trim them all afterwards if they need to be trimmed. The coffee dyed ones are quite crinkly, so they're noisy. I'm even going to leave the little phrase on the ends of them. Why not? Okay. We can stick this on the outside. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Put an envelope in there. That would be 5. Put that in the center. And then I might do some, oh wait, let's do some cardstock. 6. Let's do a piece of music paper. This I'm going to have to cut in half. I don't know where my scissors are. They're there. Or, well, I already started now. Screw it! It's happening. I could have actually left it like this and cut it in half. Long ways, but, you know. I didn't think of that fast enough. That's okay. Okay. What else do we got in here? We can cut some of this parchment paper. Let's see, I'll just cut it in 4s. Since it's folded in 4s. Everything's so crinkly. I like crinkly. Crinkly is fun. Crinkly. Crinkle, crinkle. Let's see. We've got these pretty papers. Ooh. That's pretty. Ooh, let's do that one. That one's pretty. Ooh, it's got rips on it. What I'll do is I will take this one out. Stick that in between. Is it upside down? Yeah. Look at the pretty lighthouse picture. That's a nice one. Let's see how many pages I got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I need one more page. Oh, there we go. Well, we already got an envelope on that side. So we'll cut out one from this calendar. Or do I want to do a different page rather than a count? Oh, I know. Let's rip a page out of my book. How does that strike you? You can do that as well. You can just go right ahead with your bad self and use your paint book and rip pages out. That's a nice colorful page. And then there's journaling. You can journal inside of that. The pages are a little curled. So there we go. One signature down. One to go. This one I'm going to cut. What do I do with my scissors? There they are. I like these for cutting. Just neaterize the edge of that. And what I'll do is cut the other side so that it opens on both ends and is able to be used on both sides and sewn in the center. Like so, so that when it's in a signature, you can use the pocket here or use the pocket here. Hold on. So there's 2 signatures of 10 pages each, and it's going to make for quite a thick journal, considering I am not, yeah, it's going to be quite thick, but amazing. I'm not even sure I'm gonna be able to leave this flap on. I might have to take it off. But we'll see. I'm going to cut the pages down on the side because they're perfect this way. They just need to be cut down about, let's see. Let me check here. I would say right there. I'm going to get out my cutter and I'm going to cut that down. We're going to give it a cut. We're just going to make sure everything is very pushed in. And I'm going to attempt to cut all of it at once. I'm daring that way. Ay, hold on. Alright, I gotta stand up to do this sucker. Strips! Did it cut through? Not quite. Let's go again. There we go. Now it got it. Lots of little strippy bits. And perfect pages. Perfectly cut. Let's make sure they fit. Look at that. Perfect. Now let's cut the other ones exactly the same by measuring. Let's get all of these pushed in real well. Take this one, put it alongside of this one. Take my pencil, wherever that went, or get a new one, and mark this one right in the same place. Push everything in real good. There's my pencil, the one underneath. And then the one good thing about these rotary cutters is you can cut through a lot of crap. Let's see what we got here. Oops, sorry. I think the problem is it's not pushing down enough to get to the last bits. I think the blade is just not reaching, I don't think. No, it is not. But what I can do, because I could see where it's going, is get that out of the way. Come on now. Put it back in there. And try it this way. There we go. Good enough. It's a junk journal. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be junky. A junky monkey. Good. 2 signatures. 2 nice thick signatures that are going to be so much fun. And lots of extra little strippy bits. Look. Strippy bits. You know where they're going. Strippy bits. Not the little tiny little doodads, but okay. Now let's see. Ooh, I don't know if that's gonna work. I think I'm gonna have to take this off, which is fine by me. I don't care. Because I'd rather have something wrapped around it to close it than to try to jam all this down when I've still got a bunch of embellishments to put inside. You know what I'm saying? That's not gonna happen. I was hoping, but it's okay. I'll get past it. So we're gonna slice this sucker off. Ink the edge of it, because I'm sure it's going to be totally different color than the rest of the journal, but that's fine. And what I love is, because I put so many layers of glue and everything else on here, on the edges over here, the paper, because I folded this, started to crack and peel, and it was badass. It gave me this really cool look. It looks like it just worn away with time, and really, it was just the paper. And I was happy about that. That made me happy. And now I'm going to have to cut some of that away, which makes me angry. But that's okay. It will be okay. I promise. Okay, let's try this. And if it's not enough, I can do it again. And we can use this somewhere for sure. Let's see, is that enough? No, I guess it needs to be even, at least a little bit. We shall make it even. What I'm going to do is, now that I've got that where I want it, this is going to be rough. No, maybe I'm not going to be able to do that. Maybe I'm going to hand cut that, because I'm afraid I'm going to cut the other end, and I don't want to do that. Or at least get it started here, and then cut it, so I can open it. Perfect. I'm wondering if I want this strip. I think this strip looks like super old. Focus, phone, focus. It looks like super old. Now you can see it. Doesn't that look super old? I don't know. That just looks old compared to this. I mean, even though this kind of looks old, the color kind of gives it away. But I think that strip looked really old. Anyway, ain't nobody care about that. Okay. Now, our 2 signatures fit nicely. And all we gotta do is sew them in. We gotta sew those bitches in. It's this way, because we want the pocket back here. Nice pocket. I actually might line it a little bit. I'm not sure yet. Maybe I'll leave it like that. I don't know. Okay, that's the right way. Now I gotta make sure my pages are the right way. No, that one goes like that. Make sure. Yeah, that's another thing. Make sure all your pages are going the right way before you start sewing anything in. Because I've done that on several occasions. Luckily, I didn't really care too much. But in case you have an image, which, why can't I find that calendar image? There it is. Yes, this is upside down. We want it this way, right? Because I I don't care if the envelope is upside down. Maybe, look, maybe I'll do this. And this way, everything's right side up. Now the calendar on the inside is going to be upside down because the picture is right side up. So that's the only thing that's going to be that way. Alright, let me check this side. That's right side up. That's right side up. Of course the calendar will be upside down. That's fine. That's fine. Everything looks good. Looks good, looks good, looks good, looks good. Okay. 2 signatures that are going in. Now, normally you would cut, you know, put 3 holes in and then put both signatures sewn separately but into the same holes. What I'm going to do is give this signature its own set of holes and give this signature its own set of holes. So there's going to be like 2 holes here and 2 holes here, and the top one and the top one and the bottom one and the bottom one. You see what I mean? The top one and the top one will go to this one, and the bottom one and the bottom one will go to this one. I hope that made sense. I have not seen anybody do that type of binding, and I don't even know if it's a thing. Maybe I just made it up. Does it matter? No. I just don't want both of them going through the same hole, because I feel like because this is paper and it's, you know, whatever, it's going to be too much going through one hole. So this signature will have its own 2 holes. This signature will have its own 2 holes. I just feel like that will be a better way of doing it, in my opinion, or at least we're going to try it and see if that, I don't know if that's a thing. I've not looked it up. I just kind of thought of that earlier. I was thinking, well, maybe that's what I'll do. So yeah. Okay. Actually, maybe I do want the pocket on this side. I don't know now. Do I want the pocket in the front or in the back? Let's leave it in the back. Okay. I'm going to mark my holes here. See, and it's like, it is cracking here because that's where it's folding, but that's okay. It's only the outside that's cracking. It's not the actual inside. It's only the, and that's fine. I'm going to get a black marker for this so I can see it better. And I'm going to put 2 holes and 2 holes. Because, yeah, that's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to bother with doing 3 holes. It's not, it doesn't need 3 holes. So I'm going to do a hole here for this signature. And then its other hole will be, and then I'm going to put a hole here, but that's for the other signature. And then I'll put a hole here for the other signature. And then for this one, the hole will be right here. So that's one signature. Do you see what I mean? There's a hole and there's a hole, and then this hole and this hole will be for the other signature. So the bottom and the bottom will be for this one. So I line it up and I do the bottom and the bottom. Does that make sense? I hope so, so that they each have their own holes. I think that will work splendidly. So now I got to get my pokey tools and do some pokey poking. Do the hokey pokey pokey. And let's see, now's the time when you got to shift your crap around, because I want this to go through. Well, shoot, do we want to do a middle hole because I've got smaller things? Yeah, I might do a middle hole, actually. Dang it, I forgot I had some smaller things. So I'm just going to stick to middle holes as well. I'll do one there, one there. This will be, top one will be for this one. And barely see that. And the bottom one will be for this one. Okay. I am going to do 3 holes because I forgot I've got little things and I don't want them to just have one hole, one spot where they're bound into the book. So this way they'll at least have 2 spots where they're bound into the book. Okay, let's start with this one. Make sure I have everything where I want it. Yeah, we gotta move that down. And we're gonna move these 2 up. And what I'm going to do is, because there's so much bulk here and I'm trying to keep the little pages in line where I want them, I'm going to put a clip if I can get my act together here. Okay. And then I'm going to put another one. I don't have enough clips in my life. I'm going to put another one up here. Okay. And that's just to get the holes pokeyed, because once they're pokeyed, I should be okeyed. Okeyed. Okay. Going to widen the holes. And I like to thread them or bind them with, not with any kind of thread, but with that ribbon, because that thin ribbon works great in my opinion. You can actually use dental floss if you want to, because it's nice and waxed, it'll work well. But if you're doing an uncomplicated stitch, like the pamphlet stitch, which is the 3-hole stitch, it's not necessary to, you know, it's not necessary to fuss all that much. Well, it doesn't matter which one I use. I just need to poke them all anyway. Doesn't matter. I have to poke them all anyway. I might as well do them all at once. Goodness. Okay. We are all poked. Alright, now I need to get the ribbon that I like to use, which somewhere in here it got lost. There it is. It's just a cream ribbon. I like to use this because it's strong and it works. Or should I use seam binding, because that'll work as well. Dilemma, dilemma, dilemma. I think I will use seam binding actually, because why the hell not? If I have enough of it in the right color that I want to use, or if I have enough white to dye. I do have this color, and if I coffee dye it or stick it in, or dye it of some sort, yeah, I think I'll do that, because that's a good color. I could do one in pink and one in blue and coffee dye both of them. Good idea. Good thinking, good thinking. Let's do that. Let's do that. So let's do one in blue, so it'll be 1, 2, 3 lengths. That's for one. Hold on. Okay, so I've got my seam binding, and I've got this measuring cup doodad. And all I'm going to do is stick some of this. This is called, I don't know, penny? I don't know. And it's like a shimmery brownish color. And now I'm just going to take this and I'm just going to stick it in. And actually I'm going to water it down just a wee bit, or put alcohol in it, and that'll make it dry faster too. Oh, this is water. I thought that was my alcohol. Here's my alcohol. No, it's not. Where the hell is my alcohol? There it is. Because I don't think I want it to be as dark as that. So what I'm going to do is put it on a little bit and then hopefully spread it. And plus I want it a little bit crinkled as well. Let's hope that soaks in to every nook and cranny. We'll set that aside. Now we'll do this one. Let me throw some water in there as well. I still don't want it that dark. And if you crinkle it while it's wet, you get like the crinkled seam binding. It's like magic. So I'm dipping part of it in and then squeezing it all together so that hopefully it all goes within itself. Ooh, that's pretty. Needs a little more here and there. And you want to squeeze and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze. And let's see. That's pretty, pretty. And it's like perfect. That matches that, and that matches that. How nice. And now we take what's left in here and we use this. And then we mush it around. And then we see what we get. Oh, nothing really. Just some random brown crap. And a label. Works for me. I'll spray some alcohol in there so I can clean it. And I'll take this rag, which needs to be washed anyway. clean out my cup. Alrighty. So now what we need to do is dry this as we keep it sort of crankled. Good enough. Now we've got some really crinkly seam binding, which is very pretty. Pretty. Okay, so now we're going to start sewing our signatures. At least the one that we got ready. We'll put that one in first. That doesn't belong in there. That's on the outside of the other one. I don't know what's going on. Okay, we need to thread our needle. We'll start with the pink one. Let's see, wherever my needle is. There it is. We're going to thread the end of the seam binding in if we can get it. I'm confident. Are you? Okay, now we're going to do just like we do a pamphlet stitch. We're going to start in the center and work our way out. And I'm going to go through this first. All this stuff needs to get out of my way or else I'm going to make a mess. And if you have any trouble pulling your thing through, get you a pair of some sort of pliers, grab it, and yank it. And there you go. Okay, and then this one I'm going to clip here so we don't lose it. Now, whoops, I'm banging the camera. This is going to go through the center hole, and I can't remember which center hole, so I'm going to make sure I match up my stuff first. Matching up. Goes into the bottom center hole, just to make sure. Jesus Christ, I'm knocking everything over. Holy guacamole. Okay, so the center one is in. Now I'm going to go to the bottom. Just got to make sure which bottom one. It is the bottom bottom. The bottom bottom. And feed it through the magic hole. That didn't sound good. That's what she said. It's a magic hole. Come on. There we go. Aha. And then up to the top hole. I gotta put this on my lap a second because I can't see. That's what's happening at this moment. Alright, feeding it through the top hole. Now we're gonna come back through the center hole. Now I've shown you this. I've shown you this before. Coming back through the center hole. Oh, I did this wrong. Crap. I wanted to make it so that it ties on the outside. Alright. Do over. So I showed you how to do that kind where it ties on the inside, but we want it to tie on the outside. So we're going to start the opposite. We're going to go in through from the outside. Yep, I am that stupid. Let me make sure I got the right hole. I'll make sure that my signatures are going the right way. Hold on, this stupid thing. Anywho, yeah, this is right. We're going through this hole here into there. Shouldn't be as hard this time around. This time I'm going to clip it to the outside so that it doesn't pull through. And then we're going to go through the bottom. And I pulled it off the needle because, again, I'm that stupid. Doink, doink. Doink, doink, doink. That's when I'm tapping myself in the head going doink, doink. I'm not tapping myself in the head, but I should be. Alright, then we're going to go through the top hole, which you can't see really because I've got to hold it in my lap to see. Coming through the top hole. Coming through, coming through. And then going back out through the center hole. Or do I want to come out through the top? Yeah, I might do that. I think I'm going to come out through the top so that my danglies are up here. That's just what I'm doing. So instead, I'm going to come out through the middle hole again. I know, I'm confusing everybody. So I went through from the outside in and then up through the bottom hole. Now I'm going to go through the middle hole when normally on a pamphlet stitch you'd go to the top hole and then the middle, but I'm going to do it opposite. It doesn't really matter. So I'm going to come up through the middle now. Crap. And I went through my seam binding. Isn't that lovely? Lovely. Anyway. Okay. And now, actually, I'm going to lengthen this one because I want it to be a little bit longer. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to come out through the top. If I can get it to work. Pull it off of the thing. Make sure everything is tight and happy. Pull your clips off. Make everything is in. Everything is tight. Everything is happy. And then I'm going to have the shorter one tie to here. Or do I want to lengthen it? Well, maybe I want them both the same and I'll put a bow. So in order to get them both the same, I got to pull this one like this, and then pull this one like this. Pull this one like this. I'll do better on the next one. Good. Are we tight? We're good? We tight? We tight? So you're going to tie a standard knot at the top. Just right over, left, whatever, whatever. And then from there, you could tie your bow. Which that was really big bow. We don't need anything that big. And then you've got your danglies. And then when we do the second one will come out right below it. And so we'll have two danglies. But that's cute. Okay? And that's the foist one. Now we're going to put in the second one. And it's hard to see, but the holes are there, there, and there. So they're just staggered. So I'm going to call this, if it's not already a thing, I have no idea. I'm going to call it the staggered stitch binding. Because you're taking signatures and you're just not putting them through the same holes, you're just staggering them. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. Alright, so this one I have to arrange my pages. I want this one up, these two down. I want this one up. Oh, and before I do anything, I gotta cut my envelope so that it'll open. And what I do is, I don't just cut the center, because obviously if it's stitched and this thing is in there, it's not gonna work. And I gotta apparently glue that. I'll do that after. So what I do is I cut an angle in to the lid so that it's easier to open as well when it's in your book. Like so. Okay. So anyway, where was I? We want this up here. This there. Nope, we want it. Where is it? And then we want it down at the bottom. Trying to see where my stitches are because I want it to hit 2 stitches. So down at the bottom, folks. There's that. Everything's gonna go down toward the bottom. All right. So now I need to poke my holes. So first I'm going to clip. I'm gonna clip it. Well, I lost my clip. Shit is dropping everywhere. I only need 1 clip. That's just what I say. Now we're gonna poke our hose. Poking our hose. I can't even see my hose. 1 hoe. 2 hoe. This one's very hard to see, but I believe that's it right there. I just can't see it. 1 hoe, 2 hoe. Now we're going to widen our hose. Widening the hose, folks. Oh, all right. Oh, that went flying, didn't it? What the hell happened here? That came flying out, and I'm not sure why. Because it's like that. And I didn't have this situated right? I have no idea. Whatever. Okay. Now we sew. You get the needle again. Have to cut off the fray. Okay, so we are going in from the outside. I just need to find the hoe. There it is. And am I going in the middle? I'm trying to think. Yeah, because that's how I went last time. Please, let me pick you up and stick you in. That don't sound good either. I know you guys are going to have trouble seeing what I'm doing because I'm having trouble myself because this signature here wants to keep popping up on me, which I don't care for. Shut up. Hold on. How this goes like that. All right, let's get this sucker through first. Let's put this in here so it doesn't go anywhere. Make sure we have the cover of the book and everything right. Let's stick this in our center hoe and wish for the best. Let me get that out of there because I'm not sure. I really don't want to have to do all the pages at once, but crap. Jesus. Okay, now we're in. Okay, in like Flynn. Okay. Now. Yep. That's how it goes. This little rogue paper here. So then we're going to go through the bottom. Okay, that went through. Now we need to find our hoe. There it is. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. And then we're going to come up through the middle because I learned my lesson. We're going into the same hole here. If I can move that piece of seam binding just out of the way. And get it to come through without ouch. Of course, it has to be connected to the damn seam binding again. That's the one thing about this, is piercing the seam binding with the needle when you're going up through the other hole. That's the problem. Now here's where I want to pull and make sure I have enough seam binding. It's not going to let me do. Should be okay. And then out through the top hole. I know this was probably very confusing because I had so many issues, but you know. And I have to do this part on my lap because it's not cooperating and going through all at once. So I've got to work it. Okay. And so we're done. Finally, let's make sure everything is sewn in because I'm not confident that I did a very good job. But apparently I did. Everything is in. If nothing falls out when you go like that, then you're in. Alright, now I'm going to lay it flat and tie it at the top. Which actually, I'm probably better off untying this, tying this at the top like this, doing the knot thing. And then doing the knot thing. And then taking one from one and one from the other, and I'll even tie them like that again, and tying the bow so that you have like a cute little double bow. Double bow doohickey going on. Like that. How cute! Okay, so we're tied. And we're fluffy. And we're beautiful. I love it. Don't you love it? It's junk. It's a journal. It's a junk journal. So now I'm going to have a part 2 where I decorate and embellish because this video is getting ridiculously long. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to end it at this for now, and what I'll do is have a part 2 where we decorate and embellish the junk journal. But really quick, I'll show you that everything is beautimous. See, and now the envelope opens, and that's not there, that little spot where it would have rubbed against the page and gotten caught every 5 seconds. So now we've got an envelope. It's got a little window, and then here's the other side. Okay, but we're going to decorate all of this in the next video, so stay tuned for that, and I will get that up as soon as possible. So that's it. Make sure you have a good week and do what you love and love what you do and be nice to people, and I love you guys. Bye. Mwah.